Go, Andy, go, Andy, go, Andy, go, Andy, go, go. Yay!
What's up, y'all? Hope you're doing well, doing good. Thank you for coming to check out another video of mine, taking the time, taking your time, your personal time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Whether it's just 1 view, 2 views, however many views, I really do appreciate it. I think I've mentioned this before, and I told you guys I consider myself a nerd, a blerd. Like, I am an anime and a manga guy. I enjoy reading manga. I actually like reading the manga more than I often do watching the anime. And that's just my thing. It's my personal thing. And so I put out a video previously, or I'm gonna put out a video where I talk about doing and staying in the things that you love, your hobbies and your passions. And I think it's also important to talk about the things that you love, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you consider hobbies. Anime and manga especially, are hobbies of mine. Love to read them. And I just wanted to just take a quick minute to talk about them. Maybe I'll get some feedback from the people that do enjoy anime and manga especially, because I want to talk about some of my favorites and really what I'm currently reading right now. If I was to just throw out some of my best favorite, greatest manga of all time, in my opinion, my number one is Bleach. People can say what they want to say about it. People can feel how they want to feel about it, because I believe that while Naruto had the better story progression and story development, I thought that Bleach had the better character progression and character development. And again, that could be argued. People may think that's wrong. People may not think that's wrong, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, Bleach was just always a one for me. I loved it. I appreciated the ending. I hope that Kubo keeps it going and he kind of decides to do this hell arc. He probably won't, but I hope he does it. I put out a video a while ago. Somebody brought it up. I hope that Kubo decides to continue Zombiepowder at some point. That was another favorite of mine. It was very much like Trigun to a certain extent, but then you also had like very seemingly early elements of Bleach in there, very small. That was one of my favorites. Monster was another one of my favorites. That was a really good one. Ants, Birdie the Mighty, I thought that one was decent. Gamaran, I thought that one was pretty good. Kengan, and now the Kengan Omega. Those are two of my favorites. What else? I'm trying to think. Oh, Veritas. Veritas is one of my favorite manhwas of all time. To me, it's one of the greatest. I wish they had kind of kept it going, but I guess it was one of those things. Mob Psycho is another one of my favorites. A really good one. And yeah, it's a lot of good manga out there, manga properties. It's a wide variety. So those are my all-time favorites. So what I'm reading now, I just want to kind of go over a few of them. Two of the ones I want to start with. I don't know the illustrator's name, but I know he works on both of these. And so one is One's new series called Versus. I think it's a very interesting concept, kind of this melding of different worlds where people are dealing with problems and then their problems become everybody else's problems. And the art is really cool. The artist who does Versus also does Tenkachi Nihon. That one is like a kind of like a battle manga and a tournament manga. But I want to say it was the second fight, the fight between the woman and the older blind guy. That he had some, yeah, it was some really dope art in that. Then I am also reading, and I apologize, even though I consider myself a nerd, I don't speak Japanese. I'm not fluent, and I basically just read these, so I don't get to hear it. So if I mispronounce some of these, just hey, correct me. You don't have to get on me. You can just correct me in the comments. And I think this is one of the ones that could be like one of the underdogs. To me, there's really 3 new ones, technically 4, that could be like true underdogs coming up. And the first one is Gachiakuta. That one, man, that one is it could be one of those ones, because the art style is I've seen this art style before, but it's unique to me, and it just feels there's something kinetic and just like fast paced about the art. When there's chaotic moments, it's like the art gets chaotic too. And I just think they're so dope, and I think the story is it's typical, but then it's not so typical. Some of the things that they do, some of the things, the actions they take. But I really like Gachikutsu. I really like the direction that the story is going, and I like Rudo, the main character. He's like your typical MC. He does a few things that are outside of the box. It's all well. I won't say anything, but it's interesting, kind of his progression and the route that he's going, and the way in which they've been kind of doing his character development. But I think Gachikutsu is a really good one. Dandadan, like Dandadan is like one of those ones because I feel like Dandadan gives you everything. It gives you the emotional draw. It gives you the comedic draw. It gives you the action, and the art in Dandan is top tier. Like, so Dandan is like one of those really good ones. Sakamoto Days is amazing. So I believe Sakamoto Days is rumored to have an anime in process, or it's coming. It's in development. Story is good. It plays into the typical. I think Manhwas were doing this more. The unexpected shop owner who's actually a trained tactical assassin that you would never expect. A little bit of John Wick vibe, but I mentioned in the video before, John Wick is often bogged down by realism. Sakamoto Days throws realism out of the window. It's like these guys are doing anything and everything. There's a point where one of the assassins slices a building floor, just like cleaves it. The lead ups to this assassin is so dope. The way that he comes into it and like what he does is just so dope. Dandadan, Gachikutsu, and Sakamoto Days are definitely ones that I recommend reading. Mashle, Magic, and Muscle. That's another great one. I'm excited to see what they do with the anime to see how it translates. I will say the last few chapters have been they've been good, but they've also been kind of it's been okay. So we'll see how they draw it together and they finish it. I think Mashle is really good. I think it started great, especially because I was a Harry Potter fan, and so being a Harry Potter fan is like just that idea of the character not relying on magic. Forget being a kind of a novice at magic, just having no magic at all. I think it's a dope concept, and the way they've kind of done things, the way that Mash has done things has been really cool. Because I feel like there's always like a new generation. Every few years, there's a new generation. You feel like Onepunchman, My Hero Academia, part of a generation in themselves. Because then you had the big three of One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. They're part of a generation, and then there was a generation after that, and then there's a generation after that. I think that My Hero Academia, Blackclover, Onepunchman, those are kind of a part of a certain generation. I would say I think Onepunchman is in my top 3. It's interesting to see the direction that this new arc is going, and I've read the webtoon, so I'm interested to see how they kind of separate things and how they kind of push it further. Because how are they gonna? And I won't spoil it, but I was like, how are they going to push the Garou versus Saitama fight? And what they did in what one did in the webtoon, you can say what you want about one's art style, but what he did in the webtoon was awesome. And the way in which him and Murata pushed that fight in the manga was oh my goodness. I hope that whoever ends up getting season 3 and moving forward, I hope whoever gets the anime, I hope they do a bang up job. I hope they consult Murata and get Murata's ideas and kind of the art style and direction. I know you can't always do that. The creatives have to let the other creatives be creatives. So you can't always do that. But I hope they do it justice, because there was like a run where I would say One Punch Man was the best manga out, hands down. My personal opinion, there was like chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter. Nobody was touching it. He had one of the best runs in 2022. Great run. I'm interested to see where this new saga goes. And then I'm reading Jujutsukaisen. I'm enjoying it. Jujutsu Kaisen can be kind of all over the place sometimes. You read something and then you'll be like, "Wait, what happened?" But I still think it's a good manga, and I've seen other people on YouTube talk about it. The way in which the techniques, the curses work, it can be kind of weird sometimes, but I enjoy it. I think you just have to read it and just kind of just take your time. Hunter X Hunter, I think is decent. I get lost sometimes just because it's off and on, and I know that there's stuff going on with the manga, so it is what it is. I was reading Trojan X. I want to get back into it. I just kind of got to take my time. Uh, Unluck Undead. I was reading that one, and I just kind of got out of it. And I do want to get back into it. I'm trying to see My Hero Academia. That one is it. You can kind of tell it's coming to an end. And I think sometimes the other thing with reading so many manga at times is like things get jumbled, and it's like your mind kind of your mind plays favoritism. So it's like, did I read this and I read that? But I still read them. I read as many manga as I can. Sometimes I go back and I read old stuff. I just enjoy it. What's another one that I'm reading? I'm trying to think. Let's see. What was it? Oh, Black Clover. Black Clover has been pretty decent recently. The twists and turns have been very interesting. So I think that's been cool. Reading Naruto, and I kind of just stopped. I kind of want to get back into it. I kind of don't. Kind of want to take my time. We'll see. Sometimes there is an influx, and there's just so much manga to read, so much manhwa to read, so much everything to read that it can be jarring. But hey, I think there's a lot of good stuff out there. There's a lot of variety out there. So I wonder, because I had a conversation at an AT&T store randomly with a guy. He saw my phone case, and I had the One Punch Man Saitama, and he was just asking about it. I just wonder, like, what are you guys watching? What are you guys reading? What do you suggest? I know that I think it's hellsparadise anime is coming out, or it may have come out already. I was reading that, and I just stopped. So I wonder if I should get back into that. I read Berserk for a while, and then I just stopped because Berserk is like long and it's a lot, and it's unfortunate what happened to the manga. It's going to be interesting to see how it continues and how people feel about it continuing. I I want to sooner or later I'll get back into that. I think there's just a lot of manga that I should be getting back into. But what are you guys reading? What are you guys watching? What do you suggest I read? Any random suggestions? I would much appreciate it. And yeah, to the people who don't like manga, who like manga, thank you for checking out this video. Maybe this video will get you to check something out. Check out one of the titles that I suggested. They're pretty big titles, so you probably may have already read them. But yeah, or like I said, feel free to give me suggestions. I'm more than happy to hear them. And I appreciate them. And hope everybody continues to have a great day. Hope everybody continues to be blessed. And yeah, feel free to talk about it in the comments. And hope you guys have a good one.